Hello, my name is Mishi. I'm going to be reading a story today. It's called Pheonix Uprising. It's a story that I wrote a while back. It's my first attempt at an action story. I hope you enjoy. He struggled as the vines tightened around his neck, and although the thorns were now piercing through his flesh, their poison had long since caused him to go numb. Just before he lost consciousness, the announcer yelled, "All right, that's 10 seconds. The winner is our school's reigning champion, Ara." Disclaimer, my little one might be heard in the background. I'm sorry about that. Once that was announced, Ara released her opponent from the ensnaring vines and reached out her hand to help him rise to his feet. "You fought hard," she stated with an encouraging smile. He was a bit awestruck by her expression. Then, after regaining his senses, took her hand and rose to his feet. The crowd cheered for both combatants. Although the boy had lost, he and Ara both waved their hands triumphantly towards the audience. "You're never going to get a boyfriend if you don't show some restraint," Ara's sister, Mira, chastened with a sigh. Knowing Ara wasn't going to respond, Mira went on speaking. "Guys like a girl to be frail and cute." Her nose wrinkled, seeing Ara put back on her tattered school uniform. "If you want, I can help you." "No," Ara said, finally speaking. "Graduating is my only goal. Everything else is an unnecessary distraction." Mira started to protest, but Ara ignored her, heading to her room. "Good job again, Ara," one girl congratulated. "You were awesome like always," a boy yelled from down the hall, and a few of his friends laughed at his enthusiasm. Ara paid no attention to them. She merely continued on her path to her dorm room, unlocked the door, and gave herself a well-needed nap. Only 2 hours had passed when the bell rang for night training to begin. Since she was in a battle earlier, Ara would be exempt, but training, especially at night, was extra credit, so that meant she can graduate faster. Ara wouldn't pass that up for no matter how tired she was. Without taking the time to do her hair or wash her face, she headed out. Jenks was the teacher today. He was only around a decade older than the students, so he had a very relatable and understanding personality, and was probably the most beloved trainer in the school. "Welcome, everyone. Please engage in your personal stretches. You have 10 minutes. When your warm-up is over, the training will begin." His eyes went to Ara, who was staring at him attentively. He sighed and gave a tired-looking smile in her direction. Ara began stretching as commanded without saying a word, but before even a minute had passed, Jenks came in front of her and said, "Remembering to rest is also important for a warrior." "I don't have time," she retorted bluntly. Jenks frowned and squatted down in front of the stretching Ara. "No time for what?" Ara leaned down, extending her fingertips and reaching much further than her toes. Then she stood up and twisted to loosen her hips. "I have to become an alpha soldier as soon as possible." Jenks frowned more so. "Don't push yourself too hard," he commented, and rustled through her hair, and was pushed away by embarrassed Ara. "Don't do that," she chastened. He laughed a bit, then got up to check on the other students. "There's no time. I have to graduate as soon as possible," she mumbled to herself. Later, her muscles ached so much that even making it back to her room seemed like a chore. Ara thought about the reason she wanted to graduate. "I prove I'm not a cursed child. I'm a blessing, and I'm a protector for the people who matter to me." Forgetting to close her door, Ara passed out, face down on her bed, and fell into a deep sleep. The alarm rang 1 hour before class started, so Ara rushed to take a shower. She headed to the bathroom, then decided to sniff herself to see if she even needed to waste time showering. The answer was yes. She definitely needed to take a shower. Right now. A bit disgruntled, Ara went ahead. She scrubbed herself as quickly as possible and ran from the bathroom, almost tripping in the process. Then she ran to her room to get her clothes off the bed. She then realized her door was open, and standing in it was a stranger. She froze, too startled to move, and the stranger sent a smug smirk towards her. "I wasn't expecting to see such a wonderful display my first day here." He then covered his eyes, smiling wider, and pulled the door closed. Ara was unsettled, but realizing she could be late to class, decided to throw away her awkward emotions and questions, so she just hurriedly got dressed. To save time, she tied her hair back in a ponytail and towel dried it until it had mostly stopped dripping. She then rushed off to class, dodging the bodies that came her way and weaving through the crowded hallway. Aura made it to class 5 minutes early. While no one was watching, Aura pumped her fist victoriously and headed to a seat, quickly removing her textbooks from her bag. That's when a boy who had seen her earlier entered the room. Miss Emerald removed her glasses, the way she does whenever she gives a serious speech. "This is Pheonix," she said, pointing to the new boy. "Hi," Pheonix stated, after being introduced, smiling brilliantly. Aura looked down at her desk, hoping not to be recognized. She did not wish to have any more disturbances in her studies, especially one born from her own carelessness. Pheonix is an honorary student. As you know, some children are not here by choice, and Pheonix is one of those students. His powers are very unstable, so keeping a safe distance is advised. Of course, only until he has learned to control his energy. Please be kind to him, but do not forget to exercise caution. The entire time Miss Emerald was talking, Pheonix stood giggling beside her, covering his mouth. "Please take the empty seat on the third row." Aura looked up from then to confirm the empty desk next to her, regrettably in the third row. Their eyes met for a split second, but Aura didn't allow the gaze to last long. Pheonix seemed amused by her behavior. In fact, he never seemed to stop smiling, which made Aura slightly uneasy. He was quiet during class and took notes like any other student, which relieved Aura a bit. He didn't speak with her even when class was over, which was wonderful. Maybe he's already forgotten or doesn't recognize me, she thought to herself. And that thought eased her, and filled her with a small fraction of joy. As the day went on, Aura came to realize that the new boy was in all her classes. This was a little troubling, but not severely enough to put her in a bad mood, due to the fact that he barely looked at her or spoke to her at all. "Alright, I hope everyone's stretched before class, because there's no time for warm-ups. Because today, we're having sparring matches," Cleaver announced, the martial arts combat instructor. "As you know, the rules are that those with abilities that help in combat are not allowed to use any, and of course no weapons are allowed. Now, who would like to go first?" As usual, Aura raised her hand first, not because she enjoyed fighting, but she liked getting this kind of stuff out of the way as quickly as possible. "Aura, alright, and who would like to be her partner?" Moments passed and no one raised their hand until Pheonix volunteered himself. "I might as well do it since no one else seems willing," Pheonix stated nimbly hopping onto his feet and doing a few quick stretches. Cleaver laughed. "You're brave. Must be because you're new here. I usually have to choose a random opponent for this fiery girl." Cleaver then looked at Aura. Aura looked happy to have someone actually agree to be her partner, though. She blushed lightly. "I'm just happy we can begin sooner than usual," she argued. Cleaver then led the two to the sparring field. "Please remove all jewelry. And Aura, you go to the west side. Pheonix, stay on the east. Once you're ready, raise your hand." They both went into their respective positions. Aura removed her clothes, all except her shoes and underwear, spandex shorts, and a sports bra. Then she turned and waited for Pheonix to finish. Seeing all he did was loosen his uniform's tie. The two combatants raised their hands, but Cleaver reprimanded Pheonix, saying, "You have to remove your ring as well." "My ring is my seal, and I don't want to put my cute classmate in danger," he stated very sternly. Aura sighed, putting her hand on her hip, and yelled to Cleaver, "Just let him keep the ring." Cleaver sighed, saying, "Alright, I'll make an exception since your report did say to keep your seal on at all times. I didn't expect it to be a ring. Anyway, you may begin." Aura quickly got into combat position, but Pheonix seemed unaware of her. In fact, he was staring into space, as if he was bored and unsure of where to focus his attention. So Aura charged at him first, only to be dodged. Though her punch was dodged, she quickly reacted with a roundhouse kick. This time Pheonix focused and jumped back to evade her attack. He then grinned at her. "I wasn't sure at first, but you're definitely the girl from before. I recognized that flat chest anywhere." Aura's face heated up with embarrassment, and she unleashed a fury of attacks. Somehow Pheonix managed to dodge all of them. Aura blamed herself for letting her emotions get the better of her and attacking recklessly. While she was busy reproaching herself, Pheonix gently tapped her head with his fist. Aura looked up and jumped back, all too late. 5 points for... Cleaver began stating in an astonished voice, but seemed to have forgotten Phoenix's name. "I'm Pheonix." 5 points for Pheonix, Cleaver said. After the correction had been made, the class erupted with whispers. "He actually hit Aura, and it didn't look like he was trying. That's amazing." Maybe she'll finally get knocked off her throne. Alright, separate 5 feet apart, Cleaver commanded. While the same constant grin he usually has, with the same constant grin he usually has, Pheonix complied. Aura, after a moment of shock, did the same. A headshot is worth 5 points. Arm is 1, chest is 2, stomach is 3, back is 4, and any area below is forbidden, so they're worth 0. Aura had never been hit before. She was furious. She took many deep breaths to calm herself before round 2 began. Start, the teacher yelled, and Aura charged at Pheonix. He leaned back to dodge her punch, but instead of continuing, she alternated to a low kick and knocked him off balance. He was caught by surprise, so while he was falling, Aura took the chance to punch him right in the center of his chest. Ah, that kind of hurts, Pheonix complained, rising off the ground and rubbing his chest while laughing to himself. If you value your life, you'll forget what you saw, Aura whispered. Her expression was both cold and furious. And what if I don't value it? Aura was taken aback by his response. Alright, back you two, Cleaver yelled. Aura moved away from him and bit her lip as she thought of what to say the next time she got a chance to speak. That's 2 points for Aura. The last round is up next. Perhaps she will make a comeback. Pheonix dusted himself off, then sent Aura a wicked grin. I think I value the memory more than my life, he yelled so loudly the whole class could hear. Aura's face went completely red, causing her classmates to gossip amongst themselves, wondering what the heck he was referring to. Cleaver, on the other hand, didn't seem to care and told him to go ahead and start the next round. Alright, that is the end of chapter 1. I might read more later. If you have any comments, I would love to read them. Thank you for listening. Bye.